good, y'all? J Boogie in full effect mode. Bun down is the sound. You know how we do. This is, of course, The Lounge Presents, and we are live streaming on Twitch right now, on demand via Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Today in the Lounge Space, we're bringing back a homie that we've had here previously. He's got his throne set up in the corner in the lounge space, and we get to bring him back in because he's got a brand new project that we can talk about that is incredible. By the way,
Thank
zero
you.
lies told, incredible. By the way, so let's give it up one time for none other than Len Bowen.
What's going on, y'all? Yes, sir. Happy to be here, man. What's good?
Good man. It's always good to have you in the lounge space. You know what I mean? It's always good to get you in here to talk about what you do very well. I think you already know this. I think I've given you that respect already. You were an exceptional MC, dog.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I work hard.
Yes,
I work
exactly.
hard. I
And
work
one of
hard at it.
the best part about it is being able to watch that progression.
For real. Yeah, man. It's been a while. It's been a minute. My goal is with every single project that I put out that it's better than the last one. I wouldn't come back if it wasn't better than the last one. That doesn't make no sense. So, um, as long as I can keep surpassing what I did previously, you'll keep seeing me.
Say word. Say word. Now, talking about progression, if we look at the last two records, the current one, the last one, if you were to look at the way these came together creatively on the business tip, you worked with Wayne. Shout out Wayne Booth. Respect,
Shout
respect.
out Mr. Booth,
Yes,
partner
sir.
in crime.
Exactly. He's your partner in crime for these last two records. And what I found now being able to hear these two records back to back, that there is this new energy. Not that the vibes weren't always there, but just a new energy, and I felt like this new energy was what was helping propel these two records. What are you guys doing differently, or especially for you personally? What are you doing differently that is that has got you in this current creative headspace?
Really, to be honest with you, just thinking less, feeling more.
Okay.
Thinking less, feeling more, just not caring in regards to the business aspect, leaving that to my brother Wayne,
Mm-hmm.
my other supporting team, and just trying to sincerely be in the moment when I'm writing, when I'm recording, when I'm creating in any way, shape, or form, when I'm on stage in front of audiences, um, when I'm doing interviews, just truly being in the moment, not overthinking anything, and it's translating.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. How did the relationship with Wayne come about?
Man, me and Wayne met back in, I'd say, 2021 through mutual friends. Big up to Elliot Ness, Odario. They introduced me to Wayne, and basically he let me know, he'd been paying attention to what I've been doing for a while, and he wanted to join the team. He wanted to manage me. So, um, you know, my brothers, they vouched for him. I didn't know him really well. Um, and over time, we just built the relationship, the trust. I'm going back from being in a collective to them being a solo artist, and had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of disappointments, a lot of letdowns along the way. Um, which ultimately led to me being a solo artist because my brothers had enough. Biggs and Bad Manners had enough. Um, so over time we've definitely developed a strong relationship. I consider him my brother. We talk all the time, and we're just trying to build. We're just trying to build and keep building off of everything we've done since 2021. We put out an EP um, in 2022, I believe, and we've just been going from there until we got to the full length Nothing for Granted, and then we dropped a couple EPs in between, which led us to where we are now. So
I want
yeah,
to I want to hail up and salute Bad Manners and Biggs, obviously.
Dates.
Most, most def. When I'm glad you brought them up, because one thing that I've thought about, and I don't know if we've ever actually discussed it, is once you made that call to go for Dolo, and just, what, okay, that's cool. I obviously respect the next man's, decision, but I know I've still got more to give, so I'm going to do this. Coming from what was very much a group situation, was it difficult allowing yourself to be the main spotlight?
It was just a huge transition, going from having, shoulders to lean on in the sense of not having to write complete songs by myself, being on stage by myself, studio sessions where you didn't have your brethrens with you. It's just, a lot of times just you and the engineer. So there was just certain vibes, when you're in a collective and there's more people around you, that sometimes being a solo artist, there's the pros and cons. Those are some of the cons. Some of the pros are I don't really have to run my ideas by anybody else. It's like, if this is what I want to do, if this is the beat I want, I don't have to worry about somebody else saying, man, I ain't feeling that one. You know what I mean?
Straight
And
up.
when you're creating, if you don't like a beat or you don't like a concept or whatever the case may be, sometimes it makes it difficult to create. So I all of that was out the door. It was just on me. I had my vision, whether it was on a whole project or just a song, and all I had to do was execute it to the best of my ability. So pros and cons to all of it. But it was definitely growing pains and just trying to make music that was really thought provoking, um, and entertaining at the same time with everything else all by myself, you know. So I've gotten to the point where I'm a lot more confident from where I started, and I think it shows in the music.
I would have to agree, because it is obvious that you have grown as an artist. Straight up,
Thank you.
you have
Thank
grown
you.
as an artist from where you were then to who you are now. The growth is obvious. It's very, very front and center, and I commend you for that, obviously. And whatever hand Wayne has been able to fit into, the Jenga game that artists play. You know what I
He
mean?
definitely plays a big hand in it. Nobody does it alone. Um, when you hear me talking and I refer to we, it's me and Wayne, and a lot of other people, but first and foremost Wayne Booth.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
And and you still always have your brethren there for you. We all know they're not yes men.
absolutely, for sure. No, they're definitely, they're family. We're
Yep.
not we're beyond being a group. We're family, and they're there as a support system. I'm rocking Bad Manners clothing line right now. Shout out to YWG 204.
Yes, sir.
Biggs is always there for me in
Hmm.
any way, shape, or form he can. We're all family, you know.
It's funny you mentioned family because throughout your solo career, even with the Shades, it's been very obvious that you've kept a very tight knit group of people around you creatively.
Yeah.
There's certain names that have always been there, from Shades right through all your solo work. And one is none other than our brethren Odario, who appears on the record. Tell me about what type of relationship you have with Odario.
Odario is big bro. Odario, man, I've known him since back in the days, going to Black Ram out here in Winnipeg. We went to university together for a short period of time, and we've been making music for, 10 plus years, way over that.
Yeah.
We probably, we were both in collectives, and outside of that, when I went solo and then he went solo, um, we probably have, we actually, the last time he was in town from Toronto, we were counting, and I think we're close to like, at this point, probably close to 25, 30 songs that we've done
Yeah.
together outside of our groups.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, he's my big bro, he's my friend, he's my rap sparring partner,
Hmm.
he's my support system. He's when it comes to creating ideas, sometimes because I'm a really lyrical guy, sometimes when it comes to hooks and bridges, sometimes it's difficult for me to simplify them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Odario's a guy who, just a lot of time he just goes with the flow. He's really good at just making things make sense when I might have a tendency at times to be overthinking, so first and foremost, most people, like, in general, they'll like a beat. That's what, grabs them first when they hear a song. They'll like the hook, and lyrics last.
Yeah.
I'm the reverse. I'm the absolute opposite. So when I'm writing songs, my process is it's more difficult for me to get to, you know, the point when we're landing, um, for lack of a better word. Like, if we're writing hooks and bridges, sometimes it gets blurred with the verses. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he's definitely helped my process when it comes to hooks and bridges and things like that.
So,
Yeah.
no surprise there. Dario, I don't know the last time if I ever told you this, but if it's been a minute, you're a good man. Great to
Shout
have
out
you.
everybody.
Yeah, straight up, Dario, straight up and down. When I think about the current record, like I said, it is very dope. I love the progression from the last one. That's what I mean. That very obvious growth that seems to be very apparent in your now era.
Yeah.
When when this record was put together, was this all written in one session, or was this a collection of things that you've been working on towards a full length?
It was definitely not written in one session. There were songs that I started and put down and came back to. There were certain records that were written in one session. There were records that, I went in the studio, started, went to the hotel, wrote that night, came back to the studio. I'm talking about the point when me and Junia-T linked up, to finish things off.
Hmm.
So it was all over the place. And even when I got back from Toronto and was working on the record more, there were times where it was just like I needed to take a break and then come back to it. And more so just because it was a really emotional record for me. I went
Okay.
through a lot of shit to get to that finish line with this one, but it was worth it.
Well, I can definitely say that there is a cohesive sound on this record. The reason why I asked the previous question is because it could be mistaken for having been one session.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
everything. It's extremely cohesive,
Yes.
and there's three producers on there. So, shout out to Junia-T. He did a magnificent job. Shout out to Shinogo. Shout out to Slang Hugh. You know, everybody did a phenomenal job on the production, and when I was outside of Junia-T, when I was picking beats, I intentionally made sure that things meshed. So I think I did a good job with that.
Yes. Credit to the EP. Credit to the EP. Let's talk about how the relationships with these three producers came about.
Junia-T, I met back in, I'd say, 2020 during the pandemic. So
Mm.
Manitoba Film and Sound, we're having a workshop, and there was actually an artist who kind of dropped out. So they needed an extra artist. It's crazy. They needed an extra artist. Somebody reached out to me and was like, "Would you like to be a part of this workshop, this program? It'll be good for you in developing, building on what you're doing." So I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of mentors, and one was Junia-T. And all the time that we got to spend with him, you know, talking, he was so down to earth. He was so real, and he just talked about things that I never really thought about as an artist. And you know, just he stressed things like not not making interactions when you're in the studio and recording and building with people transactional. He was all about, these things are too transactional. Let's just vibe and really be in the moment and have a great conversation. Let's laugh, let's get to know each other. And
Mhm.
he was so genuine, and everything he said during his mentorship, he backed it up. Everything. So I had so much respect for him. So that's how I met him. And then, fast forward like, 3, 4 years later, after finishing working with Tough Dumpling on Nothing for Granted, I actually wanted, to follow up with Tough Dumpling because that record was amazing, and he helped me
Yeah.
grow so much.
Yeah.
That's another one of my brothers, another one of my
Woo!
support systems. And he was so busy, right? He had so much other things going on.
Yeah, he's
Um,
busy.
right. So I was like, I got to keep this moving regardless. So, Wayne got in touch with Junior, and the rest is history. We worked it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to both of you. You obviously discovered a chemistry that brought out some fine ass music, straight up and down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what about with the other two, with Shinogo and Slang Hugh?
Right. So, Shinogo, I met through Wayne, and Shinogo produced The Journey Part 2 on an EP I put out just before Nothing for Granted, called Years
Okay,
in the
okay.
Making. And that song, The Journey Part 2, got a lot of good response. And he was another down to earth brother that was just so easy to work with, very humble, open to ideas. So, it was just a process where I was slowly um, building a team of, producers, videographers, just surrounding myself with good, positive, creative people that I could go to when I was ready to create and build. And yeah, we just kept in touch. I'd ask him to send me beats from time to time. And you know, he sent me a beat pack, and I was listening to that beat for a while, and I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go into. And yeah, it was just everything that had been happening, things that I wanted to address, people I wanted to pay homage to, which led to you know, the track Angels that I did over there, and I got a few other artists involved in and the track. I didn't know how people were gonna receive it, how it would be taken in, but um right now that song is really one of the standouts, you
Oh,
know. And I'm so
hell
proud
yeah.
of that song. I'm so proud of that song. So shout outs to Shinogo.
No, for
And
real.
everybody else on there, DJSB,
Yes,
TSLavv,
Deja.
all of the amazing artists that helped me bring my idea to life. You know, I'm very I'm very proud of that and very grateful. You know,
We've definitely got love for Deja over here. How do you two hook up?
DJSB was actually another one of my mentors during that workshop that
Oh,
I just
nice.
mentioned. So
Woo.
I met her back then too. It's crazy because I wasn't even supposed to be a part of that program,
Right?
and it just turned. I met so much talent during that 3 weeks a month. I can't remember how long it was that helped me create this project. So you know, she was you know, dropping more game on us during that. I didn't really get to talk to her on an individual basis, but nonetheless, you know, she knew who I was, I knew who she was. And you know, I've worked with quite a few artists, and you know, the list at this point was like, okay, you look at the climate, you look at what's going on, who could I work with where it's gonna make an impact, make a difference. And Disha's just an MC that goes so hard. You know,
Yes.
Disha's so talented.
Yes.
Um, Disha's underrated. Disha goes harder than a lot of people,
Woo.
if you want to keep it real. So it was an honor to get to work with Disha, and you know, the rest is history.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
No, zero lies told. Most definitely. Zero lies
yeah.
told. When you think about your creative process now and your workflow, and you compare it to what it was like making music in the earlier days, the first assumption is that, oh, it's got to be a lot easier now because of all the tools that are so readily available to anyone now. So what I was curious and wanted to get your perspective on is to compare making music now compared to making music back then. And do you see a huge difference? Do you have a preference?
Music. I prefer the process of making music currently versus back in the days. There was just, you know, back then, to be honest, everyone was still trying to figure out so much things
Yeah.
that have been fast tracked today. Being in the studio is a lot more fun. It's easier to speak the language with the engineer now, because now I'm working with people who grew up on hip hop
Yeah.
as opposed to rock guys and people who are
Yes.
just doing it, you know, because they got a check but couldn't relate to what you're doing. Now I'm working with people who grew up on the music, who understand the music, who have a better insight. So um in turn, you get better music, you get more authentic sounding, genuine music, you know.
Hmm.
So in that sense, yeah, it's amazing just working with people who get it. As far as myself and my writing process, yes, it's gotten a lot easier, and that's just because of trial and error, time and repetition. I've learned to work, smarter, not harder.
Hmm.
I've just learned how to flush my ideas out and really just get to the point with what I'm trying to convey in a verse and on songs. So it's come a long way. It's come a long way.
Zero lies told, straight
Yeah,
up. It's funny you mentioned the word authentic. Now in 2025, we are looking at, you know, AI artists charting on streaming charts
cra-
now,
crazy.
up against human artists. What the fuck is going on, guys?
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up because I forgot the name of the R&B singer who was posting on the gram about it, but basically she was, she brought that up and she brought up the fact that they were charting and she was so appalled, which I agree with 100%. And I swiped over and I saw the artists or the AI artists or whatever, and I listened to it. And I mean, if you're a surface level listener to music, somebody who really doesn't care about music, you just turn on the radio in your car and you drive, you know, that'll do it for you. But, you know, people who really take it in and process it on another level, that'll never be the case. And it's unfortunate that now that's something we have to deal with, you know.
You are literally competing with AI artists now on Spotify.
Yeah, it's the artist versus the machine. Straight up.
Guy, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it yeah, there's gotta be, I guess there are no rules. But at the end of the day, they'll never create an artist. And me being a a rapper, a hip hop artist, and the foundation that I was raised on in, this hip hop culture and rap, it from a number standpoint and what basically they can do there, that means nothing to me. That doesn't constitute you being a better artist than me because you're putting numbers on the board because you have a machine that
Yeah.
can pay for placements, that can pay for playlists and all of that other bullshit. That means nothing to me. So, from that standpoint, yeah, you might have the upper hand, but from artistic merit, you'll never win. You'll never win. Just the fact that we know how it's being created, you'll never that there's nothing to respect. You know what I mean? This rap is a business. Hip hop is a culture. And all these people have figured out is how to monetize on another level. And it makes dollars, so it makes sense for them to do it. So why
Yeah.
would they stop? But
Yeah.
people who, like I said, surface level listeners who want to consume that, to each his own. But people who um value real music, they'll never buy into that.
If you look at what is currently moving on the charts now, on the streamers, another example of what world are we in would be, and it's not a knock to the actual artists that perform the tracks, but you know that K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack,
Sorry, the what?
the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's this.
Is
It's this.
that Korean pop? Is that what you?
Yeah,
Okay,
but they're animated, and it
okay.
was this. It was like an animated movie on Netflix. I mean, it was great. It was dope and everything, but r- again, that's like it's an animated character from a movie that's charting on the same charts as the human artists and
Well,
the AI artists.
right. So I can't call it, man. I mean, who's listening to that? 6 to 10 year olds? I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah.
Um, Teach his own, man. I'm not gonna dog a cartoon. I don't really know what to. I don't know how
Yeah,
to answer that. That's
yeah.
ridiculous. That's
I,
crazy.
I mean, someone got paid to sing it, so I
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll make anything off it because I mean that's IP shit, right?
crazy.
Yeah. Whew. When as an artist now, then in 2025, the creative hustle has always been, you know, a series of peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. Sometimes the valleys go super low before you see that next peak. Just in and of itself, that is the creative hustle. But when you start to see things like the things we mentioned in the landscape of just trying to be seen and be heard, knowing all the distractions that are out there, and all the you're compete like again you're competing with AI artist. What do you do to maintain your focus? Because this could distract a lot of artists and cause them to react a little too quickly, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So how do you maintain your focus so you don't overreact and maybe think, hey, maybe I should holler at one of these K-pop producers or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. For just speaking for myself, I can't speak for anybody else, but I have standards and values and things that I simply as an artist won't compromise. So um all of that stuff just really doesn't apply to me. And um as far as looking for inspiration, there's so much new artists, old
Yes.
artists,
Yes.
current artists making great music that
Yep.
I can draw inspiration from.
Hell yeah.
This my support system, all the good people around me, and that's really good enough for me. Again, I'm about the culture, I'm for the culture. So I'm not even, I'm in it on a serious level, on a professional level, but to
Yep.
be real with you, the numbers, I'm not really worried about it. I'm not stressed about it. I don't care about it. I want to make genuine connections
There it is.
with my music. That
Yes.
that's it. That's the bottom line.
Whew. You know, when you say that, I know for a fact that again, zero lies told, because I've been able to watch you do your thing over the years, and you one thing you've always been has been uncompromising about your vision. You've always
My
been
my
uncompromising.
actions, not to cut you off, my action
Mm,
exactly. My actions, if I was about that or worried about keeping up and just doing what's hot at the moment, the music would reflect that, you know. So
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. When you see artists that you may know or may be familiar with, because as you know, 6 degrees in the industry, right?
yeah,
And you've seen artists who may have gone a little left or gone a little right after plying their trade, because as we know, this creative hustle is it's a long and hard journey. And sometimes if you've been doing it long enough and your patience starts to ease up, maybe it takes one conversation for you to take your focus a little more to the left, a little more to the right, in the hopes of getting those eyes and getting those ears.
right, right. You know what? I have a lot of peers over the years that I've seen do certain things that I might not agree with,
Hmm.
depending on, you know, how close I am to you, how well I know you, I might have something to say. Other than that, I keep it moving and worry
Mhm.
about myself. I it might definitely impact whether or not I work with you in the future, or things like that. But I can only be responsible for my own actions. So you know, if somebody else, for whatever reason, somebody's throwing them the bag, and it's something that you know is questionable as far as what they're asking you to talk about, or whatever the scenario may be. I mean, that's on them. And when they look back, maybe it won't affect them, maybe it won't impact them. But I know, speaking for myself, I've been in situations that I didn't even realize were compromising, and at the end of the day, I got a bag. And um just to make this make sense, I took a gig once in a corporate gig, corporate setting, um, paid very well. However, nobody was really there to see me. Nobody was, I was
Mm.
kind of like just background. You
Yeah.
know, I had a decent set. I had a good set. However, I wasn't the main focus. And
Mm.
I just remember how I felt when I got off that stage.
Yeah.
And again, I went in blind. I do little or no corporate events. Um, and like I said, I was compensated very well, but it wasn't worth it at all. It wasn't worth it at all. So
Well, you learn from it.
yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. And yeah, it wasn't for me. It made me feel good at the same time, in the same breath, that, I know I'm doing this for all the right reasons, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have,
Yeah.
have you have you noticed any artists in the local market in Winnipeg that you see potential in?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. I was part of this show called Underground Sound 3, that's put on by this uh, group of people called Don't Cry Wolf. They go by Don't Cry Wolf, and they do
Right.
interviews and put on shows and do all that. I can't, off the top of my head, no names are really coming to me, but I saw a lot of potential. And the crazy thing about this new generation is they just don't give a shit. There's no butterflies, there's no nerves. They get on stage and do what they got to do, um and kill it. So as far as my city goes, as far as Winnipeg goes, there's definitely potential for greatness. They just got to figure everything else out.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah,
I feel you on that. And I mean, you're obviously familiar with that yourself. The baby's got to learn too, right?
absolutely.
What would you tell these new up and coming artists about what you have learned about the creative hustle that you still take with you today?
Again, it's going to sound cliche, really, but just be yourself. Just be yourself. Um, that's all I can tell you.
No
That'll
cliche
take
there.
you. That'll Be yourself, be genuine, be personable, and that'll take you further than anything else.
Definitely no cliche. No, no cliche at all. Not even a
Yeah,
little bit. Looks like someone taught you right, huh? Good job.
yeah,
God damn. The release is out now.
yeah. If you don't see me, you saw me. on all streaming platforms, available everywhere. Please listen, go check it out. You will not be disappointed.
Any opportunity for physical media?
Possibly, possibly. I can see us doing vinyl for this one because
Oh,
it turned out too amazing not to.
that's what I was just about to say, man.
Yeah,
This should be on vinyl.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this record is very, yes, definitely should be on vinyl.
Yeah,
And hopefully we see that vinyl soon. I know you dropped visuals for Gotta Believe.
right.
Who shot that for you?
That was shot by Malcolm J. He's an artist. He's a photographer. He's just a Renaissance guy in general. And now he's a videographer. He does a lot, and he did a
Okay.
great job. Yeah, shout out Malcolm J.
And will you be continuing to shoot more content to help promote the album?
Yeah, I don't know how much long content, but there'll definitely be more visuals coming soon. No doubt.
Say word. Say word.
Yeah, yeah,
That's proper. That's proper. Well,
yeah.
yo, man, obviously, always appreciate the time that you provide for us to spend time
Thank
with
you
us in
for
the
having me.
lounge space. Respect all day. You already know, dog.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Y'all
All
make
right.
sure you follow him on socials. Drop your socials.
Shout out Len Bowen on the gram, Len Bowen the MC, Facebook. This is Len Bowen, Twitter, Len Got Bars, TikTok.
How
Word.
you liking the TikTok hustle, dog?
Ah, don't go there, man. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
What is up? Damn, TikTok
Yeah,
is so weird trying to figure that shit out.
yeah. Don't go there, man. Rolling with the punches. Rolling with the punches.
Excellent way to put it. Excellent way to put it.
Yeah.
If you don't see me, you saw me, Len Bowen, out now. Make sure you add that. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Follow Mandem on socials. It's a fucking dope record. I guarantee it will not waste your time in any way whatsoever. And hopefully, we get to see a live rendition of the tracks on here at some
No
point in the
doubt.
future.
No doubt for sure.
All
Word.
right, then. Respect, dog. Once
All
again.
right, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again.
Peace.
Okay. Peace.